Hello and welcome back to Pride of Anglia. It's season 3 and after last time we finally made it out of the Vanarama National League South with Braintree. I say finally, but for a team expected to challenge for relegation that's quite good. But whether we're still with Braintree for much longer I don't know. There's nothing available now, meaning our focus is firmly on improving this side ready for some Vanarama National League action. The first aim of the summer is to renew all key contracts. It's an issue because everyone wants more money and it's hard to say exactly how good anyone will be at a higher level and where we can improve. There's also no word on whether we're turning professional. I would imagine given the board's reluctance to ever spend money, the answer is probably no. We obviously won't be keeping everyone. First season regular Alex Costa moves to Evesham while Harry Hope, who hasn't played at all, goes to Barry. But we do renew most of the major names. And then Keith Curl resigns from Colchester. He managed to get them promoted as champions straight back to League 2, so I'm not really sure why he's gone. He's only 59, but I'm obviously going for it, and they are extremely quick to offer an interview. It's sounding more positive off the bat. Top candidates, they say. It seems to go okay, although I sincerely hope that this is a bug and it's last season's expectations because we're not winning League 2, surely. Fleet would then come in with an offer as well, which we'll obviously be rejecting. I'm still of course focusing on the job at hand though as well, and signed Callum Evans for free from Solihull Moors to hopefully make right back a bit more solid, and we will be needing him because after a brutally swift process we again don't get the Colchester job. Perennial job merchant Gary Rower is picked instead. We are getting closer to getting a bigger job though, I can feel it. Indeed, we are apparently linked with Wickham, which is great, but it's just not in the right area for the challenge. Clearly fearing my departure, the board sweep and expand the wage budget for recruitment analysts, clearly the best use of club funds there. As contract expiration day comes around, I adopt to release Christian Campbell, Tom Raitt and Ashley Hemmings, while John Kamani-Gordon of course leaves on a free after refusing to sign a new contract. With our own future looking like it'll be Braintree based for the foreseeable, we get to work on some major moves. As ever, it's trial offer time. Depth is key, plus a right winger and any other improvements we can find. As amazing as Kieran Clements has been, a better centre-back may be an option. As always, our main targets attract vultures and we don't get everyone I want. We do get Ryan Alabayusu from Arsenal, bit of an FM non-league legend for me. The game says right back, I say left winger. And he isn't the only former Arsenal youngster we snap up, as Mario Kozia-Dewberry joins too as our new right winger. The pace of the pair of them alone should be enough to tear through defences. Jack Turner is probably an upgrade in midfield on the established names joining from Southampton, particularly mentally and physically. Non-league veteran Bruno Andrade is signed from Stevenage as a further left wing option, which should facilitate Dwayne Still playing more as a striker potentially. Lucas Ness, formerly of Charlton and Super Smash Brothers, joins to bolster the centre-back options and seems superior to Clements and Cooper in terms of attributes with at least 11 for heading, marking, tackling and positioning, which I always really like in a centre-back. As a backup left-back we signed Charlie Sayers on loan from Southend, and for a bit more quality depth Jack Griffiths joins from Stoke and goalkeeper James Wright joins from Aston Villa, and then we signed Rory McConville on loan from Boreham Wood as Tom Bruce departs for Salisbury. Some decent additions overall I think, certainly easier to get players than last year. We'll see how we get on. The board do not expect us to do anything much this season but attempt to survive relegation, and the media agree, so really we have free reign and obviously we've surpassed all expectations so far. After a pretty dodgy pre-season, we begin our lengthy campaign against Bromley at home. It really would be nice if you could have 7 substitutes at this level. I have no idea why you can't. Ness, Evans, Turner, Kozia-Dewberry and Alabayusu move into the initial starting lineup. The first half is extremely dull with nothing happening until Silvio Bello is injured. In added time, Alabayusu gets over an extremely confusing kick clash to waltz through and smack his effort against the post. Kozia-Dewberry then kind of has an effort in the second half, and later on Lillienberg makes a save from Whiteley, but we end up with a decent, if extremely boring, opening point. And with football like that, why wouldn't the town be coming out in their droves to see us? We see a staggering 102 extra season tickets on last year. Heady days. Weymouth are next, and like us, they're apparently tipped for relegation, so this would be an important win if we can get it. We look lively from the off, and an excellent move involving some of the old favourites sees Matt Johnson unleash a typical rocket to open things off. And minutes later, another neat move comes to Turner to open his previous account for the club. We completely dominate the rest of proceedings and have a plethora of further chances, but we're not exactly clinical. Dwayne Sewell in particular, but it doesn't matter as we run out 2-0 winners. A supremely dominant display. Match 3 is Eastleigh and match 3 is a draw. An even game which we really grow into, and we grab a point with a late equaliser from Ness. Non-league football really is relentless. Our first local derby of the season is next, and it's a big one. Southend. We've obviously faced them in the FA Cup before and won, and I've been rejected for the job twice. After 3 games, they have 0 points, so really there's only one acceptable outcome here. Oh, and before we kick off, Nicky Simons informs me that his never-ending pursuit to be more qualified than me continues. It's a frantic start as we hit the woodwork, and then so do they, with Lillienberg making a painful save. But after Jack Turner goes off injured, the game loses its rhythm, and while there are chances for us, it peters out and we have to settle for another draw. 4 games in, we're unbeaten and sitting slap bang in the middle of the table, which isn't too bad. Turner is though out for a month. Teams keep bidding for our regen George Richardson, but they keep offering literally nothing. He's locked into a provisional senior contract already, so quite why they'd ever think we'd accept that, I don't know. Our second win of the season then comes in the final game of the month against Solihull Moors, as Akinwande gets his first of the campaign. Crawley were relegated from League 2 last season, but considering we're still semi-professional, we make them look like amateurs. Akinwande's goal last time clearly has kick-started his season, as he first dispatches from Bellows Cross from the left, and then converts from Evans on the right to make it 2, before a typically unstoppable pile driver to secure another first half hat-trick. Clearly shell-shocked, Crawley don't know what to do, and if anything we should get more. We have to settle for 3 though as we move into early playoff contention. Before we face Havant and Waterlooville, who of course were promoted with us last season, I politely explain my views on their survival chances, so hopefully this isn't setting us up for a fall. I mean, at times I feared it was. But a second hat-trick in a row for Akinwande and a first goal for Kozia Dewberry gives us a 5-2 win to fully demonstrate why we were champions last year. We play Fylde next, who apparently are really hated. I don't know, but I seem to have great luck picking games to record this year. Chances are rare, but we have a few, but none of them result in goals. We get a corner in injury time, but Ness's header can only hit the woodwork. We are absolute kings at hitting the woodwork, by the way. I'd like to see a league stat for that. After the game, in once again shocking news, Southend are looking for their 4th manager of the save. Maybe you should have gone for me when you have the chances, guys. Quite frankly, given our relative positions at the moment, I don't think it's in my interests to apply this time. Obviously it's just a coincidence, but we really do seem to have better luck when I don't record. We thump Barnet 3-0 in another clinical display, meaning we sit 4th in the table. But then in our biggest test so far, we face top of the table Wrexham. Obviously they are a flush with Hollywood cash these days, but 2 years in they're still stuck here. It's another game fairly sparse on highlights, but we give a good account of ourselves. They dominate, but Lillienberg is equal to their efforts. We look good for a point at least, as some last-ditch defending stops Ben Tozer's effort, but as time winds down, Kieran Clements gets himself a second yellow, and that leaves us severely compromised, and so it's only a matter of time before we're dragged out of shape, allowing for Timmy Abraham to score. His brother would be proud. We lose for the first time this season, but no disgrace in that. I complete my Continental B coaching course, which I was apparently encouraged to complete by other staff members, which I don't remember happening, certainly not the board anyway. And speaking of the board, they chirp up with a new contract proposal. No doubt now the course has increased my value. I'm obviously content here in the face of no other options, but I would like to move up the ladder if I can, so I will not be making any commitments at this stage. I opt to just politely ignore them for now. We end the episode against Yeovil Town and we end with a win. Akinwande missed a penalty but proceeded to grab a late goal to give us 3 more points. We stay 4th, still somehow well in the hunt for playoff contention, which is nice. A good start to the season and no indication we'll be going anywhere soon. The Regions League 2 teams are all doing quite well, bar maybe Northampton, and I think anything above that is beyond our reach. We will see though. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.